just checked into a hotel that was rated like 9 on booking.com. It cost 22 euros for this room I'm going to show you, and the hotel is spotlessly clean. It's very well located, and I'm in the town of, I can't say it, but PJ will put the name, but I'm here to see the ruins, the best Roman ruins in Turkey, the city of Ephesus. So it's only a fairly small room, but very clean, with the ensuite. And a shower in there. It's got heating in both the bedroom and also the bathroom, and there's the castle outside overlooking us. So like I said, it's a good location. PJ's coming in about 3 days, so I'm getting excited, so it'll be good to have her here. Okay, I've just walked up from the town that's over there. It's about 3 kilometres away, and all the way I've been going past ruins and places to see on the way to Ephesus. And you know, there's a sign to another place, and there's just these like ruins on the side of the road. This one's got fences, but some of them don't have anything. Like there's some more ruin over there. There's more ruin here. And also I met a guy as I was walking here. In fact, he was trying to sell me old coins. I don't know how authentic they are or not. But he was saying that the whole area used to be covered in houses, stone houses, and all you have to do is get a metal detector and go along and you can find ancient coins. They did look ancient, and they were about $5 each. Okay, we've entered the main part of the ruins, and as you can see, we're on a grand boulevard with lots of pillars, and it's backed by the Grand Theatre. Here, there's a lot of like roped off areas where you can't go, and a lot of it's sort of left to your imagination about what it would kind of look like, and quite a lot of it has been reconstructed. So it seems like the history of this place was it started off around the Bronze Age, and then it was quite prosperous and just kept growing and growing until the 4th century AD, when there was a big earthquake, and also it Christianized. Then it sort of fell out of favour a little bit, but still stayed a major centre until the 14th century, and then it sort of fell into ruin. But as we travel around Turkey, we can find that the earthquakes in the 4th century must have been pretty big, because they really were right across everything we've seen so far, and everybody makes note of them. So first impressions are, it's not nearly as good as the ruins that we've been to so far, you know, for access and just literally like how much of it is visible. So Pamukkale seemed a lot better, but we're only just starting, so as we move further in, maybe it gets a lot better. I mean, I'm getting a bit spoilt now, you know, like it's like I would have been shocked and amazed seeing this on the first day. So here's the Grand Theatre. As you can see, quite a lot of it has been reconstructed and has new rocks, new seats, very few original seats, but still very impressive, being that it's from the 3rd century BC, and some of the rocks are just truly massive, and you can see the writing on those rocks over there. So it's very interesting. You know, the bottom stones, the foundation stones, are absolutely huge, as you can sort of see here on the walls on the outside. Even the facing stones are massive. Okay, this is very beautiful, and would have been a lovely square back in the day. And as you can see, we're overlooking quite a substantial classical square with lots of columns, and it would have been beautiful. And that's the Grand Theatre. So the civil centre of this town would have been very impressive, you know, to say the least. And the avenues, which again are pedestrian avenues, you know, extensive. So you can sort of see them disappearing off into the distance there, and disappearing down that way as well. You know, it's just massive stones and quite beautiful stone work. I mean, look at that arch. It's just beautiful, elegant, and you can see the columns that would have been supporting it, the roof around it, the pavilions. You can see the avenue going up the hill, and it's got these massive, massive foundations and buildings right next to it. and it's quite elegant in its sensuous path up the hill. And you can see the columns that are quite fluted and beautiful and delicate. And then you come down and you see, I think that's the Temple of Venus there, I'm not sure. And the gates going into that square. And then, you know, the avenue continuing down past the Grand Theatre. So it is very impressive. You can also see how many more people there are here. So this is a major tourist attraction and attracts a lot of bus loads of people. So by far it's the most populated ruins I've been to, and it's quite hard to get a quiet sort of area. And supposedly in summer it's cheek and jowl here, cheek and jowl. So yeah, winter's quite lovely here. I would suggest if you're coming to look at the Roman ruins, winter's the time to do it, because I'm sure this would be stinking hot in 40 degrees and feel quite oppressive to walk around. And now it's like lovely. I've got a bit of a cold today and I've got no problems. As you can see, even up on top of the hill, there's ruins. So the city must have continued all the way to the top. And on the surrounding hills, you can see some fortresses on the far-flung hills. Okay, I'm up on the top, and you can tell that this would have been very grand in its day. And you get sweeping views of the surrounding countryside, which I'm going to do very poor justice to with my phone camera. There's so many different columns. Like when you're walking up here, there's the straight fluted columns, there's the serpentine fluted columns, there's the plain columns, there's Gothic columns, Romanesque columns, Greek columns. It's really impressive. And of course there's the ubiquitous tombs as well. So, you know, it's an interesting place. I would say it costs 200 lira to get into, and that doesn't get you into all the site. You have to pay for add-ons to go to like the terrace houses and some of the other ones that don't fall inside the gate. So you can probably spend up to 500 lira getting around the full site. It's interesting. It's got a very good name. Everybody talks about this, but I don't think it's, you know, I think the hype is great, but I think most of the places I went before, if you had a look, you had the sites to yourself. A lot of them were more original and more complete. Here's another little theatre, and as you can see, every seat has been reconstructed, so you know, it doesn't look like any of the other ones that I've been to so far. And I remind you of the one in Kaz that looks out over the ocean, you just walk straight onto, and it's absolutely like pristine, beautiful, and the view is so majestic of the islands and the sea right in front of you. So, you know, come to it, but like I said, maybe you should come here on your first day, and that way you're overawed. So I'm walking back to the town, and I'll just show you, like, that ruin is just on the side now. Obviously I can't get there because there's a fence, but it's, you know, obviously not been done up or anything, and you can just get an idea of the size of the massiveness of the building. And then if you just go over a little bit further, there's another sort of ruin over here, you know, which is quite large, and I think it's part of the wall. So there was a 9-kilometer wall, city wall, that was built around Ephesus, and there was buildings inside and outside the wall. Yeah, I think that's part of the wall. So it's quite massive, the wall. And supposedly you used to be able to walk through the wall. So it was a structure rather than just a dumb sort of, you know, pile of rocks. And on this side, there's, you know, there's ruins. You can't really see them. They're mainly tombs. Like, you know, they love their tombs. So it's interesting. And you can see that's not been renovated at all. So that's just sort of like what's left standing after 2,000 years. And the same down here on the corner. It's quite a large structure with quite large blocks. This is sort of, if you decide to walk, if you keep your eyes out, you see quite a lot of this on the way through. And I should say the walk is, you don't have to walk on the road. They've built a path that you can walk quite easily on. And it's a cycle path as well, if you want to hire a bike and ride out. There's quite a few far-flung attractions. So at the place where I'm staying, you can rent a bike for €5 a day. So that's a 12-hour day. So if you wanted to do that, that's quite a good option. I was a bit surprised how far out this was. And there's other sites that are further out. So this is that castle and those ruins over there, which are quite substantial, and there's a big abbey as well. They're directly behind the main street of the town. So, you know, my hotel, which is on the main street, has a view of the castle. So if you want to go to ruins that are a lot closer, you can literally walk 50 metres from the main street in the town and end up with ruins. And there's aqueducts and things as well that come down. I'm going to go through it on the way back. I'm not sure if it's a pay to play or you can just walk through it like it's a park. This is the Ephesus Museum that's in the town square. So it's flanked by mosques, quite pretty mosques. Like there's one there with the bricks on the end and the minaret's leaning a little bit. But there's another one just down the end, another old stone mosque. Now, when you're at the actual Ephesus itself, there's not really anything other than the structures to see, you know, and tombs and things like that. But supposedly they collected all the small finds and put it into this museum. So I'm not going to go in there because truthfully, I'm feeling a bit unwell, so I'm going to go home and lie down. But yeah, this town is really quite pretty. Now, maybe it's just quite pretty because it's winter and there's not many people around. But I think I like it the most out of all the towns we've been to. Now, this museum's only across the road from the bus park and maybe 5 minutes walk from the railway station. So I can't stress enough how well connected Turkey is with buses. Like, I haven't tried the trains, but you know, buses literally are so interconnected and you really don't have to spend any time waiting for them. And the buses are very good quality. You know, the worst travel experience I ever had was catching a Nepalese bus up to Jira. It was like I thought I was going to go mad. This is nothing like that. These buses are in very good order. They seem to be excellent first world buses and cheap and very, very often.